I think at our best, we're innately a generous people.
We're at our best when we're thriving, when we're able to help other people because we're thriving.
We are at our best when we say that we want the same kind of chance that we have had for others.
I think all of America is interested in education and a better opportunity for their children and themselves.
To be able to eventually retire, to be able to purchase a home, the basic American dream.
People being able to find their own way, so I hope that I'm among those people.
I'm not asking for millions of dollars or whatever, but just a stable home and stable family.
That everyone can support their families with dignity. That's one of the main things that I worry about, a safe, healthy environment, and that people can support themselves with dignity.
We were raised middle-class values, working-class values, the virtues of a hard day's work.
There was a lot we didn't have. It didn't bother us not to have it. But the one thing we did have was the knowledge that if you got yourself educated and worked hard, there was going to be a future for you.
That's the premise of this whole country, is, you can better yourself if you so desire.
This country is based on those advantages for everyone, not just people who are at the higher income level.
The middle class in America has been the backbone of our society. And when the middle class is up against it, as it has been, particularly during the Bush years, our whole social order is in peril.
We need a market economy. It is the source of prosperity. But we can't let the economy take over the politics. So from the very beginning of the Republic, wise voices have always said we need our political system and the strength of our democracy to ensure that ultimately it is we the people who govern and not the money that governs our politics.
Every so often, we hear that we must not trust our own government. We must instead turn everything over to the market, that we ought to allow the interests of profit and greed to take ascendancy in American life, and every time that's turned out to be wrong.
It's almost as if one side believes that you can't have a free market with a safety net, and the other side believes that you can.
Would you want to be a person without health care? Would you want to be in that person's shoes? I think that you should think about how the things that you vote for impact society and the world. Do you want to be the person who that policy affects adversely?
We've had a health care scare in my own family, and there was a time where we had no insurance, and that set us back like you can't imagine.
We did everything right. We worked our way through college. We got good jobs, and we didn't make any financial mistakes. We tried to save up for that house. We were doing everything that we were told we were supposed to do, and yet I recognize that we are one mistake away, just one unlucky break away from losing the little that we have.
We have to give our society and the people who are going to be the engines of our society the resources to build the future.
The fix is going to take time. It's not something that could be solved overnight. It's not something that could be solved in 4 years.
This idea of wealth will trickle down, or that if we simply alleviate taxes from the rich, that'll eventually trickle down. That's not going to happen. We know that's not going to happen.
My grandmom always taught me never to go backwards, because when you go backwards, you go back to the same old problems.
Well, the Republicans, they refuse to tax billionaires and millionaires, but it doesn't bother them to raise a tax on the middle class. And to me, that's crazy.
There comes a point in everyone's life, at some point, whether you're young or older, where you take a look at yourself in the mirror and you decide on your relationship with the society that you're a part of.
I think you have to ask, how big is that self? What self are you talking about?
Is it just me, my little life here? Or is myself my family, is myself my community, is myself my country?
This election is more important than any. It's so clear, the stark contrast of the two parties right now.
I think it's between our best future, our best hopes, our best dreams about America and what America is.
And a choice to maintain the status quo and for the rich to get richer, the middle class to disappear, and the poor to get to be an even larger class of people.
You should ask about what kind of future do I want?
Place where everyone should have a fair shot.
An opportunity to work a decent middle-class paying job.
Solid health care.
Outstanding education to all the citizens of this country.
Look forward to retirement and not have to worry.
My biggest hope is that our country will become united again, that we will see ourselves as one people.
People think of freedom as I can have what I want, and freedom is so much deeper than that.
It's faith in the capacity of people, if they're given equal opportunity, to make the right decisions.
With all the turmoil, all the shouting, all the noise, there's a strong majority in America for doing the right thing.
What does my candidate really stand for? And does he have my interests at heart?
Have they experienced the problems?
Do they really mean it? Is their heart in the right place?
Who is it who speaks the truth?
Who shares a worldview that we're all in it together, that nobody can succeed alone.
So we go out there, you roll up your sleeves, you rally, and you vote. You vote your conscience, and you hope for the best.
Last century was called the American century for all the right reasons.
Because this is such an incredible country. This is such a bountiful country. This is such a really, really good country.
I believe it can be the second great American century. But what we do over the next few months is going to have a lot to do with that.
President Obama knows what direction this country needs to go. I think he has a vision.
I'm voting for Barack Obama, and the reason why is because his message comes across crystal clear to me. He believes in us. He believes in us, and he wants us to all do better.